your victory is guaranteed. Now, because some of us live a lifestyle of trusting God, we are not surprised when we get the victory. We are never caught off guard when God blesses us, promotes us, sends us better, does for us the good measure, the press, the shaking, and the running. Job, as we know, according to the first and the second chapter of the book of Job, was going through what many of us consider to be a horrendous trial. Because when it comes to our brother Job, you got to understand that Job was not just in a fiery trial in just one aspect of his life. But if you've ever read the book of Job, then you understand that our brother Job was going through it literally in every aspect of his life. He was facing a fiery trial. And the thing about Job, the trials that Job went through, it was just somehow every time something bad happened to Job, you got to understand this. There was always one person who would escape to tell him the bad news. I mean, everybody got killed. The servants got killed, the sheep, the oxen, all were taken. But arriving at Job's house was always one person to deliver the bad news. You know how some of us, we get determined to deliver bad news. I mean, come on. If some of you got good news, you'll try to reach a person one or two times. If you can't get them, then, hey, they'll just have to hear from somebody else. But if it's bad news, then you'll call 50 times blowing up their phone because you want to be the one to personally deliver what has happened that is bad. Now, all of us not like that, but some of you, you know you're like that. Amen. But somehow they would always escape just to be able to tell Job what had taken place. Again, one would escape to tell Job that fire had fell from heaven and destroyed things. One would escape to tell Job, look, you lost all of your children. And just when you probably are reading the book of Job and you may have a mindset that it can't get no worse for this brother, then all of a sudden he started going through stuff in his body that caused his very skin to begin to fall from his bones to the point to where Job wanted to take something to just scrape himself. Even when his friends came from afar in order to comfort Job, when they got there, Job looked so bad and his situation was so bad that the Bible said that they sat there for days, not able to even come up with a word to even say to their brother. He was in such bad shape. Oh, God gonna talk to somebody this morning that's really going through something. But then when you think, okay, he's going through enough, but then all of a sudden, the one person on earth that he probably wanted to count on would have been his wife. But the Bible said that she looked at him and said, you ought to just curse God and die. And so that brings me to a conclusion that Job was also going through it in his marriage, because he told us what was wrong with his wife. He said, you've been hanging with the foolish women. And so he's going through all of this. And many writers make the mistake of limiting what Job says here to only being a reference to the grave. When Job says that he knows that if he would just wait, that his change is going to come. He had an expectation for change. He knew that change was coming. Oh, I'm telling somebody, you can't give up because change is coming. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I said, I got to tell somebody, you can't give up now because change is coming. Notice Job 13:15. Job said, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. I know it's God. I know he's sovereign. I know he's permitting these things to be so. And Job considers it a slaying. But in the midst of the slaying, he's determined to trust God. What is he determined to trust him for, Pastor? For his change. Remember, he's going to trust him despite the slaying. But we know he's looking for, or he has hope for change to take place. When it comes to change, just from a broad sense, You have to understand, in the earth realm, as it concerns humans, we are all going to change. Change is inevitable. It's unable to be avoided. Change is a part of life. You say, well, Pastor, I don't like changing. Well, get over it, because change is, again, a part of life when you look at it, again, from a broad sense. Even when we look at it when it concerns aging or getting older, that's just simply a part of life. Come on, somebody. It don't matter if you don't like it or what. That's just a part of living in the earth realm. Because the only place where we will never age again is a place that is described as an eternal place, that being heaven. Come on, somebody. But down here on the earth, whether you deny it or not, change is going to happen. You can get the best makeup that money can buy, but they haven't designed makeup to stop aging from taking place. I got some sad news for folk that are hooked on Botox. I got some news for folk that are hooked on getting plastic surgery every other year. Change is a part of life. And whether you like it or not, we are all going to change. Somebody had a saying that say we get older by the day. But I want to back it up and say to you that we get older by the second. And anytime you don't think change is inevitable, you don't think it cannot be avoided, then you don't need to talk to a scientist. You don't really even need to read a book or watch a YouTube video. To know that change is a part of this life, you only need a mirror. You only need something that will reflect your image. Can I get an amen? Because some of us know when we look in the mirror that change has taken place. I hate to go here, but y'all ain't giving up the amen. Some of us know when we step on a scale, the scale will tell us that change has taken place. Some of us, we don't wear the same thing in our waistline because change has taken place. Can I drop one on you? But I try to be about changing for the better. I can't fight age. I can't fight getting older. You can't fight it, but just age to the point to where you're getting better. Better meaning wiser. I'm getting older, but I'm getting wiser. Come on, some of my older saints. You don't play the silly games that you used to play. You don't put up with the drama that you used to put up with. You did what Paul said in 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. When I became a man, I put away childish things. Tell somebody it's time to put up childish things. And shout to them and tell them that's a change for the better. Some of us are grown, but we're childish. Still dealing in silly matters. Still arguing over silly things. Still getting upset over things that mean nothing. Come on. Change gonna take place. Because again, it is a part of earth. People being born and people dying is a part of living. And the longer you live, the more people you will witness dying. That's a part of the earth. Am I right about it? Going through trials is a part of earth. Being disappointed by people is a part of earth. Come on, it's just a part of living. Come on. Because even a baby at 2 weeks old sucking on its mama's breast will be disappointed when mama don't put him up to the breast fast enough. Now he cannot speak about his disappointment or her disappointment, but they can cry, letting you know what they want that you're not giving. Come on, somebody. And some of us have gotten on up in age, but we're always thrown when people disappoint us. Part of living is being disappointed by people. Can I drop another one on you? And sometimes the people that disappoint you are people you love. They're people you care about. They're people you put an investment in, but it don't stop them from disappointing you. I've disappointed people. Come on. Some of you couldn't even say amen. You think you God? You've disappointed folk. I wish I could point to every last one. You, all y'all over here, you done disappointed somebody before. In my middle section, y'all have disappointed people. And on my right side, you disappointed folk. Isn't it amazing how crushed we get when folk disappoint us, but then we forget, hey, I've disappointed people. I've let folk down. Am I right? And so when you look at change, again, I want to talk about change from God's standpoint. Because whenever God ordains a season of change, it's going to be change for the better. It's going to be an improvement upon whatever is taking place in your life that he has ordered change. And I'm telling you this morning, God has ordained change for some of our lives. And it's change for the better. He says it's time for improvement.